Arthur the rat.
Yep.
Once there was a young rat named Arthur who could never make up his mind. Whenever his friends asked him if he could or would like to go out with them, he would only answer, I don't know. He wouldn't say yes or no, neither. He would only shrug in making a choice. His Aunt Helen said to him, Now look here. No one is going to care if you. No, look here. No one is going to care for you if you carry on like this. You have no more mind than a blade of grass. One rainy day, the rat heard a great noise in the loft. The pine rafters were all rotten, and the barn was rather unsafe. At last, the joints gave way and fell to the ground. The walls shook, and all the rat's hair stood on end with fear and horror. This won't do, said the captain. I'll send out scouts and search for a new home. Within 5 hours, the 10 scouts came back and said, We found a stone house where there is room and board for us all. There is a kindly horse named Nellie. There is a kindly horse named Helly. There is a kindly horse named Nellie, a cow, a calf, and a garden with an elm tree. The rat crawled out of their little houses and stood in the floor in a long line. Just then, the old one saw Arthur. Stop, he ordered coarsely. You are only coming. Of course. You are coming. Of course. I'm not certain, said Arthur, undaunted. The roof may not come down yet. Well, said the angry old rat, we can't wait for you to join us. Right about face. Arthur stood and watched them hurry away. I think I'll go tomorrow, he calmly said to himself. But then again, I don't know. It's so nice and snug here. That night there was a big crash. In the morning, some men with some boys and girls rode up and looked at the barn. One of them moved to the board, and he saw a young rat, quite dead, half in, half out of his hole. Thus the shrucker got his due. Kit, the quick little kitten, thinks a bit a pretty big fish. Dress. Many of Jeff's best friends slept in mesh tents in pleasant weather. Trap. The narrowing black cat dashed at any men and lands on the plain carriage lot. The honest swan stops and acknowledges the fox, dodging the borrowed wasp. Strut. Mothers love butter. Mothers do love butter. That comes from the southern countryside. Foot. The butcher should put a pudding in the wooded nook to cook. Maybe they should. Bath. Can't have the staff asked to transfer the enchanted castle in France. Cloth. Lawrence often offers Ross a Florida orange and horribly strong frosty Boston coffee. Nurse. The early bird prefers the earthy worm. Who doesn't? Fleece. These unique machines teach people to speak and reason. Face. The raven waits until late day for the great wave to break. Poem. Father and Ma said to calm the facet in the Nevada Plaza. Thought. The small walrus caught the hawk in the salty water. Goat. The rose slowly grows in Owen's old grove. Goose. Beautiful music booms and humans move to the groove. Sounds like a song. Price. The shy writer types at night to fight the silence in the mind. Choose. The spoiled boy hoists the toy from the soil. It sounds like play. I love it. Mouth. Mountains of flowers crowd the grounds above the house. Near. Dietrich's fear seriously interferes with her ideal career. Square. Beware of scarce fairies, rare mares, and scary prairie bears. That's a tongue twister, you know what I'm saying? Start. The Sahara party marvels at the fair star on the Safari. I'll do that one again. Start. The Sahara party marvels at the fair star on the Safari. North. Laura's warm aura reforms Thor's horse for the important war. Force. The adorable boar snores hoarsely and notoriously hoards imported pork. Wow. Cure. The tourist indoors rural tours of Europe and procures gourmet bourbon. Happy. The coffee, the salami, the spaghetti, and the macaroni are ready. Ma, the coffee, the salami, and the macaroni are ready. Letter. Sugar covers the tiger's whiskers. Comma. Bertha Cinderella Saga is a drama. Major players are Richard, Wilbur, and Henry are running around the treacherous river. L. Linda and Ellie pull belly muscles laughing laboriously. NG. The singing mockingbirds is swinging on the ring and ding the awning. Or, sorry. Ding. The singing mockingbirds are The singing mockingbird is swinging on the ring and dings the awning. The 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 Tappins gather the breath three authentic breaths together. Wow. I don't even know if that's right. The Tappins gather the breath three authentic breaths together. H. Harry and Hillary happily harvest helps of herbs behind the beehive. YOD. The cute, dutiful blue Katu resumes cooing suitable tunes enthusiastically. That's a crazy one. W. I don't. I'll do that one again. W. Will and Drew whistle when the wind blows between the whistle the whimsical weeping willows. I'll do that one again. W. Will and Drew whistle when the wind blows between the whimsical weeping willows. Ing. Miss Famming is walking and hiking in Wyoming. That sounds like fun. S. Susie lives in her sister's house on Easy Street with her Siamese cat and Siberian husky dogs.
Where have you lived if it was for a significant amount of time and how long?
Well, I lived in Falmouth for a majority of my life. I also
Where?
moved to Falmouth, Massachusetts, down Cape Cod. I also lived in Korea for about a year and a half. I lived in San Diego, California for a year. I also lived in Vermont for another 10, 12 years while I was in college and returned back to the Cape uh, for employment, I guess.
Okay. So where were you raised?
Where was I raised? Uh, uh, Davisville Road, East Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Thank you. And what languages do you speak?
I speak uh, English and maybe some Korean swear words. My Spanish isn't really that well either, but maybe a couple to get me through. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I'm not.
And what's the extent of your education?
Bachelor's degree.
Right. And what's your occupation?
I am a chef.
And what was the occupation of your parents or caregivers?
My mother was a hairdresser, and my father was a Marine.
And how did you get into being a chef?
I didn't really feel like eating ramen noodles when I was in college, so I decided to work and eat well, I guess.
And what do you like about
Free food.
that? What what do you think about your accent?
What about it? It's normal.
Okay. And what do you think the influences of your accent
Um, it's a really good question. I'm not quite sure. I would say the region. Um, yeah, I would say the region. Its identity, I guess. Massachusetts identity.
are?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what do you think about your own voice?
Sexy.
And what do you think other people think about your accent?
Sexy.
Do you think they can identify where you're from?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, everybody identifies with the Boston accent, I would think, right? Like a Texas accent would. Yeah. Yeah, I would say.
Do you
I
sound
mean,
like the rest of your family?
I would think so. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Uh, could you tell me one of your proudest moments and the things around it?
Proudest moments.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Skiing down the chute at Mad River Glen without falling would be one of my proudest moments. If you've ever skied Mad River Glen, uh, it's quite treacherous. You know, Wyoming, right, might have some really good skiing. Do you guys have skiing where you are? No? Yeah, well, yeah. So skiing the chute, Mad River Glen, one of my proudest moments. Graduating college is really a proud moment. Uh, Getting jobs that I have are proudest moments. Uh,
What about graduating from college?
That took a long time. It was never a priority, but I think a necessary, I guess, for an individual. I mean, from my own personal experience, it was just to be a better person and maybe to grow and, you know.
My mother just started a business at 75 years old. How it came about, my mother and one of her best friends that she grew up with in the area went into an Italian restaurant, an Italian like shop, a little sandwich shop, a little restaurant, and the guy tried my mother's cookies and fell in love with them. And uh, the cookies that he had in the shop were nowhere near as well as my mother's cookies. And he was so in awe about them that he said, if you ever make them, I would buy them. Well, apparently you need a license in the state of Massachusetts to be able to do that. So the state and the town come to your house and they inspect it for sanitary reasons and blah, blah, blah. So she finally got her license to and is able to do this. Yesterday, I took it upon myself at 10 o'clock at night to go make a batch because I was so excited about selling cookies. I'm like, Ma, you'll never have to go to Macy's ever again. I'm like, Ma, get off this rocking chair. So we own a duplex, right? And I hear this rock creaking. I don't know if she's in it right now, but we just got a license to sell all of these cookies, okay? And it's up to you, which has been taught in our family. If you don't do it, you're not gonna make it. All I hear is every time I hear a creak with the rocking chair, dollar signs are going out the window. So I'm like, I got to go to the gym. So I go to the gym. I come back. Ma, get the butter out of the refrigerator and soften the butter. So we burnt a couple batches, and we learned the process of how to do it. So So I'm driving down today, making a huge order of like eggs and flour and sugar and extracts. Right, we're gonna get it wholesale. Hopefully, we can get it delivered to the house. And I'm dropping off a batch of cookies, and I gotta hand them a receipt. A receipt to pay me money. That's great. Okay, it's like free money. And every time I hear this like rocking back and forth, I go, there's another buck out the window. I go, Ma, start making some cookies.